Hi everyone, welcome to my channel. I'm Chandrika and this is RIKA Life. Alright, so there's so much fun happening on my channel. Please like this video and subscribe if you haven't already. I share all my fun and love for yarn and crochet on here. Lots of whips, finished objects, yarn purchases, just all the fun. Patterns, tutorials, everything. In the description box of every video, I have my tutorials playlist. I have a link to my Ravelry store with my written patterns. I have a link to my Shopify store with originals you can purchase from me, and links to my Facebook and Instagram as well. All right. Today, I am very excited to share with you something. I have been buying yarn at the Hobby Lobby clearance sale for the last 2 years at least, for 2022 and 2023. I have not gone in 2024. I don't intend to because I am on a yarn challenge. This is my box of yarn labels, and my challenge is to use up 50 balls of yarn before I buy any new yarn. I'm already out well over 25 balls of yarn. The second part of my challenge is to use up yarn in this bin before I go into my yarn closet where all the newer yarns are. So I will share that with you as well in a video. Okay, today I want to share with you a finished project. The reason I mentioned Hobby Lobby is because half of this yarn is from there. I think the other half is from Joann's clearance aisle. So I will share with you the yarns first, and then I will open up the project. It is a big behemoth. It's a bit of a big project, so that's why it'll be hard to open it and then tell you about the yarn. So the first yarn I used was Bernat Softy Chunky, and I got this on clearance for $3.97. I think I purchased at least 5 to 6 balls of it, and this is the color Teal Waves. So I'll just show that to you there. You can see the information. It's a super bulky number 6, and it recommends an L8 millimeter hook, and that is what I used. What else can I tell you? Yeah, it's 100% acrylic, 108 yards per ball, 99 meters, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams. I must have used at least 5 of the balls. I might have used 4.5. I think I have 1.5 balls left. So that was the first color I used. And the second color I used was that was Bernat Softy Chunky. The second color I used is Premier Bloom Chunky, and this is the color Wildflower. So that's what it would look like if it was knitted, but I crocheted with it. So it's 109 yards, 100 meters, 3.5 ounces, 100 grams, 100% acrylic. Both yarns have almost the same specs. Though this is a bulky weight 5, recommends an L8 millimeter hook, and it's the color Wildflower. So, and I had, I think 5 or 6 of this as well. Now I'm going to share with you the project, and it is a little bit big, so bear with me. I don't know how I'm going to really hold it up. And keep in mind, I have not woven in the ends yet. So don't be coming after me about that. I didn't weave in the ends, and I'm stating that up front. That's still on my to-do list. I like to just make things, and then I have days where I sit down and weave in the ends, and that's just how it goes so far. I don't usually make things, weave in the ends right away, unless I need to gift, donate, or sell it right away. Okay, this is the yarn. That was the yarn. This is the project. It's a bit big. So this is 4 by 4. This is a 16 square project, and I made granny squares. That's the first panel, the second panel with the teal, the third panel, and the fourth panel. Okay, this design of doing alternating the rows with the different colors is actually my daughter's design. I was trying to see whether I could do an X pattern or do, the X would also be 4 corners and 4 in the middle of the teal color. But we didn't feel like that looked very nice. So this was my daughter's design, was to do alternate rows. So do 1 row of teal, one row of purple, one row of teal, one row of purple. So I give all credit of that to my daughter. So I made granny squares, and because one of these, so this one was a 6 weight, this one was a 5 weight, but I've done the exact same pattern, so I've just done a regular granny square for them. So I made 16, so I think I have 8 of each, and I think I actually have an extra purple one, but that's okay, I'll figure that out later. Once I made all my squares, then I joined them all. So the way I join is I lay out 16 on my table, and then I join one row at a time, and then I turn and I join one row at a time. That took quite a while. I think it took me about an hour and a half just to join. And the way I joined is just with a slip stitch join in the back loops of these. Because these yarns were a little bit different, I just had to make sure that I made 6 rounds. So I did 6 rounds of the granny square. So you can count that from the middle. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And I did the same with the teal color. Where are we? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. And then that's how I made sure that it would all match up. Once I was finally done joining them all, then I used some mill ends yarn that I had, because I didn't have enough of these 2 colors to do a border. So I had a mill end yarn of this very, very light gray color. So I did 1 round of double crochets with that. Then I switched to this purple colored mill end yarn. These are from Hirschner's, these mill ends. And I did 2 rounds of double crochet with that. And I went all the way around. In the corner, I just did 2 double crochet, chain 2, 2 double crochet, and that was it. And then my blanket was done. Oh my gosh, I've had this yarn for like almost 2 years, and now finally finished this. This was just one of those projects where I started making squares. I think I had like 3 purple squares and 1.5 green squares or teal squares, and I just shoved it in the closet. I didn't even include it in my whips list. When I had 16 whips, I didn't even include it because it was just there. It was like a UFO, an unfinished object. But then when I started this challenge to use up 50 balls of yarn, I was like, oh, I got this yarn sitting there. I could use up a lot of those balls. That was my motivation to pick up this project and work on it. And it was so much fun. I generally don't make granny squares. I mean, this blanket behind me is granny squares in a different way. And this is the true granny squares that I made. So let me just hold it up again so you can kind of see it in its entirety. It's pretty big. It's pretty much my wingspan. And it is touching the floor. And it is almost up to my shoulders. So it's a pretty large blanket. Yay! And I'm loving it. It's a little bit heavy. I have to admit, it is going to be a little bit heavy because it's using bulky weight 5 and 6 yarns. So this is more of a throw and something that I would, cozy up in on my couch. So I think that's what I'm going to keep it for. I don't plan to give it away. I don't plan to gift it. So far, I'm keeping it unless someone close to me really shows some interest in having this blanket. Otherwise, this will be staying with me. And that's perfectly fine. I got the Bernat Softy Chunky on sale for $3.97 a ball. And then the Premier Bloom Chunky I got for $1.12. So I didn't have to spend that much money on this blanket. I'm really tempted to go and buy more yarn, but doing this challenge, keeping track in here is really keeping me accountable because I am aware of this every single day that, hey, I have to use up the balls of yarn before I buy any more and before I start using the one that's in my yarn closet. So the yarn that's in here, I have made a start on it and I am going to share that with you. Um, give me 1 second and I'll be right back. Okay, so some of the yarn that was in there I used for the Premier Eversoft. I used for this pillow, which I've shared in a video. And the other yarn that I used from my bin right here was a Bernat baby blanket yarn. So this is the color Raspberry Kisses. And that's what it looks like. I've also shared this in a whip and yarn chat video earlier, but I started making this project and this is from this bin. I am almost done the first ball. I'm making a blanket with half double crochets, and I am almost on one ball. So I've added that one ball to my little tracker here, and now I'm going to be using the second ball. I have 3 more balls, so I bought 5 balls of this, and I'll be using that to make a nice comfy blanket. For this yarn, I am using an L 8mm hook. I think that is what's recommended. Yes, that is what's recommended. So I will just show this to you for a second, and then I will read you the stats. So this is Bernat blanket yarn by Yarnspirations. It's 100% polyester, 10.5 ounces, 300 grams, 220 yards, or 201 meters. Oh, I can read backwards. What else? It is a super bulky number 6, recommends an L 8mm hook, machine washable and dryable. That is the best part of it. Of course, once you use 5 balls, this blanket is going to be like very big and like thick, but I think it can go in the wash. I mean, I haven't tried yet. I have another blanket I finished of this with this yarn. I don't think I've washed it yet, but hopefully it would be okay. That's why I'm just doing half double crochets, so I'm not getting too fancy with the stitching. I'm just using half double crochets, and it's been working out great. This yarn is so soft and it feels amazing, and I'm loving it. So I have this yarn in this color, Raspberry Kisses, and then I have one more left. So I had bought it in 4 colorways. After this, the last color is yellow, and out of the yellow, I intend to make either a flower pillow, a bunny, and maybe a baby blanket, maybe all 3. With that, I think I have 6 balls. So it won't be a huge baby blanket, but I think I could definitely do a flower pillow and a baby blanket, or a bunny and a baby blanket. If I could do all 3, that would be amazing. An amazing use of the yarn. So I'm very excited about that too. I have so many whips and so many projects happening right now. It's just been so much fun. Doing this challenge has really pushed me to finish projects, has really pushed me to be creative, has pushed me to use up what I have. It's always so exciting, right? To buy new yarn and to use new yarn. But what about the yarn that you bought before, you know? So in that bin, I actually have thinner weight yarn. So I have like 2 weight yarns. There's a couple of cakes in there. There's some Red Heart, it's a wrap rainbow. And then some Yarn Bee Rainbow Rhapsody in there. I think that's it. And then there's some Bernat blanket scraps. In this bin over here, we have this yarn that I just showed you. I have some Premier Puzzle. I have some Big Twist Ombre. I have Premier Basics Mosaic, 2 of those. And then I have 2 balls of yarn. I think it's Yarn Bee from Hobby Lobby. So not too many yarns, but oh my god, if I could finish this bin, like before I get to my yarn closet, I would be so happy. We counted, and I think there were about 18 or 19 balls of yarn in there, which would take me all the way up to almost 50 balls of yarn. So if I can actually commit to this and finish this before going in the yarn closet, I mean, that would be amazing. And then maybe I can put some of my finished projects in there, because I've been putting my finished projects in my yarn closet in the shelves, but I think they really should be in bins. My bin underneath this one, so I have 2 underneath as well. So the one underneath here has bulky weight yarn, and those are mostly, there were some mill ends from Hirschner's, and there were some bulky weights, just like the Bernat Softy Chunky that I showed you. I bought this in a charcoal gray and a light gray color. So I have some balls of those in there. Then I have an entire bag of cotton yarn, and I think that's it. Oh, and then I have, what's it called? Yarn Bee Sugar Wheel Cotton. I have 2 cakes of pink and I think 4 cakes of blue, something like that, or the other way around. Those are 100% cotton. I'm thinking of a top for my daughter or a top for myself. I just need to get on that. So I am good to use any of the yarn in these 3 bins, and I would like to use up as much as I can before I then go and start using all the new yarn that's sitting in my yarn closet. I realize I haven't put out these yarns, so I don't see them. Versus when I go to the yarn closet, it's a whole shelving system, and I can see everything very clearly. So let me know what you think, like in terms of organization. I think so far this is working for me, but maybe I need to like take these out so that I can use them, and then get some of my projects in there because my projects are taking up space. Also, I'm not really sure what to do with the things that I've designed. I designed like 3 hats, and I have like 3 samples each of those hats, or sometimes even 4. So I'm just wondering if I should keep them or give them away. I feel like I should keep them so that I can remember that I designed this. But at the same time, they're so beautiful. Or I should just start wearing them. So instead of having them sitting in the closet. But yeah, I think definitely I'm going to take out my finished projects and try and get them in these bins, because that was initially the purpose of these bins, was to put my finished things and to just have 1 or 2 for the yarn. But now it's become only 1 of the bins has finished objects and 3 bins have yarn. So you can see how much yarn I've been buying over here, and then in my yarn closet I have quite a lot. I think I have enough to last me this whole year. So I'm not committing to anything like that about not buying yarn for the rest of the year, but I'm definitely going to finish my 50 yarn challenge and finish my challenge of using up these ones before I go in the yarn closet. It's just keeping me accountable, and it's keeping me on track, and you know, I can still be creative. There's still lots of room for creativity, you know. It's just a matter of spending that time, spending that little bit of extra time to plan things out. I also have some whips, and I need to share those with you at some point, but I'm not sure the order of these videos, so I'm not sure when I should show those whips, but probably you'll be seeing the whips in my weekly whip and yarn chat videos, so you'll be seeing me working on projects. I already have one where I'm working on this project, and I'll be having another one. I'm just having so much fun with color right now, and I actually pulled out an older yarn from my yarn closet to start a large project. I'm making a cocoon shrug, and I have Red Heart Unforgettable. I have 9 balls each, 1 in the colorway Red Sea and 1 in the colorway Heirloom. So I'm doing it in Red Sea, and it is so beautiful. So you'll be seeing that in a yarn and whip and yarn chat video. You will be seeing that one. That's been so much fun for me. I would love to know, what are you working on right now? Please let me know in the comments. What kinds of things are you enjoying making this summer? And I intended to do a poll. Hopefully I'll be doing that in the community tab. Just finding out what kinds of things you enjoy making right now. I know it's hot out, so we don't always want to be making these big, thick blankets, but there's lots of other little things we could be making. So I'd love to know what you're making. What kind of yarn are you using? How big is your stash? You know, all of those questions. I'm always curious to know, what are other people's, do you have a yarn room? Do you have space for your yarn? Do you have a yarn closet like me? So just let me know in the comments. I'd love to know. I'd love to know what did you work on today while you were watching my video. That would be so nice for me to know and just to, create that connection. And I really do appreciate all of your comments on my videos, all of the likes, the shares, the comments. It's very greatly appreciated, and I absolutely love this community on YouTube. I love being able to share my craft, my passion for crochet on here, and I'm so grateful, thankful that you're here, you're watching, and you're with me every step of the way. So I wanted to thank you so much for watching today's video. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope you have a wonderful crochetful day, and I'll see you again soon. Bye.